Hi there, my name's Gavin Davies and I am a singer-songwriter. Now, I've been asked by one of my lovely subscribers, Karen, if I can do a reaction video on this gentleman called Erik Grönwall. Now, I think I've pronounced his name correctly. I think he's from Sweden. Would I be right in saying that? I'm not sure. I might be wrong on that one. Anyway, I think what we're going to do is we'll dive straight in there and have a listen to this, his cover of Zombie. Let's have a listen.
Child is slowly taken, and the violence caused such silence. Who are we mistaken? But you see, it's not me, it's not my family. In your head, they are fighting with tanks and their bombs and their bombs and their guns. In your head, they are crying. In your head, zombie.
Wow, what a voice. He's got a cracking voice, hasn't he? I've never heard this gentleman before. These aren't negatives, these are just observations, okay? He's definitely using pitch software, pitch correction software. His vocal is heavily processed. What I say by that, it's been squeezed into a very narrow band. So there isn't a huge lot of lower frequencies on it, although I'm pretty sure he has probably got some lower frequencies in his vocal. But for this particular sort of recording, they have deliberately made sure that his vocal sits in a specific band. And I think, it's not a problem. You can tell that he can really sing. I mean, you can hear the quality in his voice, but unfortunately they've almost beaten it out of it with processing, which is the thing today, isn't it? You know, it's what everybody's doing. You know, everybody thinks that they've got to put processing on their voice. And when I say processing, I mean pitch correction. Everybody thinks you've got to be absolutely perfectly in tune all the time. And you don't, because it loses the character. Anyway, this is also not him singing, as it were, as in from the video itself. So obviously this is a created video and he is miming to the original recording. This is a studio recording. It's got processing all over it. It's got massive production detail in there. However, he can really sing. I mean, you can tell he can sing. I'm sure as we get further on into the track that will become more apparent, but I'm not a fan of processing in vocals, not at all. Let's carry on.
Zombie, what's in your head? In your head, zombie, zombie, zombie. Another mother's breaking heart.
And here's what I mean exactly. That takes some skill, like slight key change, you know. So that's why it's a zombie reimagined, because it sort of changes. I don't know whether the original does. The original may well do the same, but I don't think it does. Oh, does it? You know, I have heard it once, zombie, but I don't remember whether it does that. But yeah, the quality of his vocal is amazing. Obviously, his presentation is just out of this world. He's a very good has a very good stage presence. Although he's not on a stage, is he? It's just it's a video. But yeah, the control of his vocal, he's got amazing control. The notes that he's hitting are, I mean, I can't tell whether, I mean, I tried to see if I could find a live version of this so that I could actually hear properly what he's actually doing with the song, but I couldn't find a live version of it that hadn't got, I mean, I could find a live version of it, but it got a lot of background noise in it from people with phones and, you know, and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, he's got an amazing vocal. He really has. I can see why he's doing so well at the moment. So let's carry on listening to this.
Zombie, zombie, zombie.
Yeah, that's. That's nice.
When the violence causes silence, we must be mistaken.
What an amazing version of a lovely song. I think that's, I mean, I'm sure I have heard it before, but I don't think I've heard it done as well as this. Let's go back again. When he starts jumping up on these higher notes.
What's in your head? In your head.
There you go, and he does the head. I mean, that is perfectly in tune. Again, I can't really tell, because the thing about pitch correction, people talk about things like auto-tune all the time, don't they? I mean, Phil at Wings of Pegasus is always talking about auto-tune. Well, this is not auto-tune. It's done after the recording. So I can hear a slight amount of it, and I just don't think it's necessary. This guy does not need it. You know, I've heard a little bit of news, as it were, whilst I was reading about Erik, the fact that he'd won a competition and that his vocals are, you know, his range is just incredible, and that is true. You can hear when he's going for the high notes. Let's have another listen to this.
Zombie, zombie, zombie.
And when you hear when he's doing that long note, what he does is he moves it up a tiny little bit, so it goes up a tone, and then right towards the end of that note, I mean, he leaves it a long time before he brings in the vibrato. Now, that's obviously not pitch corrected there, because if you pitch correct vibrato, it gets rid of the vibrato. It doesn't get rid of all of it. Granted, it could have been a tiny bit, but no way has it been. But that shows the control of his vocal and how good he is at controlling his vocal. Let's keep going with that bit. And I mean, there's a lot of long notes in there, and that takes a lot of control as well. You've got to hold your diaphragm in. You've got to really sort of push that note through without hurting your voice. I just wish I could see what he was singing, because obviously he's miming and acting to this particular track. But I'm pretty certain if we were to see this live anywhere, it would be pretty close to the quality that he's singing here.
We must be mistaken.
And I hope you get what I mean by the tone of the voice. It's all too common now that producers do this. See, so the choices that were made to put production onto this would almost certainly not be Erik's. You know, he would not have said, "Oh, can you put pitch correction on my voice, please?" No, he definitely wouldn't have done that. It would be very, very unusual for the artist to say, "Can you put?" When he knows he can sing. He probably did quite a few takes to get it right. The only other thing as well that you can't tell when it's a produced studio recording like this is it's probably not a one-take song either. So you've probably got sections. Sometimes what producers will do is they'll get you to sing the entire song 4 or 5 times, and at the end of you singing it 4 or 5 times, then they'll do something called comp, which is they'll compare. I think that's what it means, really. So they'll compare different versions of it and link them all together so that they get what they feel is the best version. I don't like that either. He may not have done that. So I can't say whether he has or hasn't, but this is a very common thing that producers do nowadays, is instead of doing what, I don't know whether you remember, I doubt it, but basically old Cilla Black did a song called What's It All About, Alfie? That, and it was well renowned that, was it Burt Bacharach? It might have been, that she had to do, 40 odd takes before he was absolutely convinced that she got the right one, that she'd done the right take. Well, they don't do that nowadays. Not really. They'll get you to sing it in a big studio. Time is money. It's just the way it goes. And so they'll get you to sing it 4 or 5 times, and then they'll comp it. They'll basically pick the best bits. They'll link them all together, because it can be done with computers. You can link them all together, and then they'll do that. However, if I was listening to this and I wasn't attempting to analyse, what it is or doing a reaction to it, then I would say this guy has a wonderful voice. And he does have a wonderful voice. There's no doubting that. And there we go. So I have listened to it. It's the first time I've listened to Erik. I hope I wasn't too negative about the pitch correction. It's just a pet hate of mine. However, I'm listening to his voice and his vocal and the way he sings. He's a very good singer, and I think he is going to do extremely well, and is, by the looks of it. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, then don't forget the old like and all that sort of stuff, and I'll catch you on my next video. Thank you very much, and thank you, Karen, for asking me to have a listen. Catch you later.